And now the story continues, as it is written here in the pages of the sealed book. For several days, Blanche and Vivian and Chris have waited in suspense to learn their grandmother's decision as to who is to inherit her money. Then one morning, looking very upset, Chris seeks out his cousin Blanche.
Blanche?
Chris, well, what is it? Is anything wrong?
Everything's wrong.
What is it? Chris, tell me.
Early this morning, Granny sent for me. I managed to wheedle out of her who the fortune is going to.
You did? Oh, Chris, who's going to get it?
Vivian.
Vivian?
Yes. We're each to receive $5,000 while she gets millions.
Oh, Chris. Chris, it's not fair.
Oh, shh. Don't cry, darling. I could stand the thought of losing the fortune. If it weren't that I'd lose you also.
But, Chris, what are you saying? We'll always be together.
Oh, darling, there's no use pretending. If we're both penniless, we can't get married.
Oh, Chris, it wouldn't matter if we were penniless. Really, it wouldn't.
That's what you say now, Blanche, but I know better.
Oh, no.
Both of us are too used to luxury to do without it. And listen, if somehow Vivian failed to inherit the fortune, it would mean that either you or I would be bound to. In either case, we could get married and have our chance for happiness.
Yes, you're right. Oh, I hate her. I hate her.
Darling, if we want our happiness, we've got to fight for it.
Chris, what are you talking about?
If something were to happen to Vivian, our worries would be over.
Chris, you don't mean... Oh, no.
Darling, the happiness of two people is more important than that of one. And we could be so happy together. I can't bear the thought of giving you up.
Oh, Chris. But murder... We'll be caught.
Not if we're clever, darling. Now listen. This afternoon, suggest to Vivian that the two of you take the canoe and paddle to the other end of the lake. When you get about a mile from shore, you'll see me approaching in the motorboat. That will be the moment for you to tip the canoe over.
Tip the canoe over?
Yes. Then I'll pick you up and bring you back to the dock. As for Vivian, it was a simple case of drowning. By the time I reached the overturned canoe, she had gone under. You were the only survivor.
Oh, Chris, I'm so frightened.
Well, will you do it?
Yes. I'll do it. If you want me to.
Are you tired paddling, Blanche?
No, Vivian. The lake is certainly deserted today, isn't it?
Always is this time of the year. Ooh, but that water's cold.
Oh, here's a motorboat.
Oh, look, it's Chris. He's coming after us.
Hello, you two. Who wants a lift?
Let's just ignore him, Vivian.
All right. We'll pretend he isn't there. He expects us to admit we're tired.
Shall we change places? I'm tired of paddling in the stern.
All right, if you like. But be careful. These canoes tip very easily.
Yes, I know. Now you work your way slowly toward the stern while I make for the bow.
Okay.
Now, we have to slide past each other. This is a tricky part, changing places in a canoe.
Blanche, look out. You're rocking the canoe.
Oh, I can't help it.
Look out. We're going over.
Hey, what happened to you two?
Chris, pick me up.
Come over here and I'll help you into the boat.
Chris, where are you?
Here I am, Vivian.
Chris, it's 30 yards to the boat. I can't swim that far.
Chris, pick me up. My clothes are dragging me under.
Swim to the boat and I'll pick you up.
Oh, Chris, don't let me drown. Chris! Chris!
It's only another 20 yards, Blanche.
Oh, Chris, my clothes, they're so heavy. I'm getting so tired.
Just a few more yards, darling.
A few more yards. I couldn't swim beyond that if my life depended on it.
I'm afraid you may have to, darling.
Chris! Chris, come back! Chris, don't let me drown! Chris! Chris, no!
Hello, Granny. How are you?
Have the police left yet?
Yes, Granny. They asked me to convey their condolences over the tragic loss of your granddaughters. Oh, it was just one of those unfortunate accidents.
Yes, wasn't it? It's a pity you weren't able to get there in time to save them, Chris.
I shall never forgive myself for that, Granny.
I'm sure you won't. Well, Mr. Arnold is waiting to see me about drawing up my will and naming my heir. But I no longer seem to have a choice in the matter. I must give you credit, Chris. You worked the whole thing out like a master.
Why, Granny, whatever are you talking about?
You may have fooled Blanche and Vivian and the police to boot, but not me, Chris.
What do you mean?
Chris, do you remember when the thought first occurred to you that with Blanche and Vivian gone, you would inherit all?
Why, Granny.
It was when you met your cousins for the first time in this room. The thought occurred to you because I said, it's a pity there isn't only one of you. Then I wouldn't have to bother deciding who should inherit the fortune.
Come to think of it, I do recall your saying something to that effect.
And when I did, your head came up and you stared at the two women, and then you smiled. And I knew exactly what you were going to do.
Of course, this is all nonsense, but if you say you knew what I was going to do, why didn't you stop me?
Because I wanted to see happen what did happen.
But if you wanted me to inherit the fortune, why didn't you promise to leave it to me in your will without...
Without forcing you to do what you did?
Yes.
My dear Chris, for reasons of my own, I wanted it to be quite impossible for those two vicious, stupid women to inherit my money. And equally impossible for you.
Well, whether you want me to inherit the fortune or not, I'm going to.
Oh, are you?
Yes. Under Grandfather's will, there's no way you can prevent me from inheriting it. It's mine, come what may.
Oh, is it?
Yes. What are you laughing at?
You fool. There isn't any fortune.
What are you saying? There are millions.
There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything your grandfather left was lost in the Depression.
No, that can't be. You're lying.
Lying, am I? I've been paying the servants my doctor bills and other expenses by selling what few pieces of jewelry I had left. I have nothing now, nothing.
No.
In fact, I shouldn't even be surprised if you had to pay my funeral expenses.
You witch! You planned this all from beginning to end, getting the three of us here. Speaking of leaving the fortune to one of us, driving me on to drown the two of them.
Yes, that's right. And I can't recall ever having had so much fun in all my life.
Well, you won't be having it much longer. You made a mistake in playing me for the fool.
I don't think so. You did exactly as I knew you would. Everything I expected came about.
It did it? Did you expect this also? You didn't expect this, did you? Well, why don't you laugh now? You'll never play anybody else for a fool.
Drake, is anything wrong? I thought I heard... Good heavens! Mr. Drake, let go of her! Let go, do you hear? Let go!
One thing she didn't count on.
Let go of her!
There. You can have her. She'll never play another little game like that.
Mrs. Drake! Mrs. Drake! She's dead.
No more than she deserved.
Chris, what did you do it for? Murdering a helpless old woman. It's madness.
Helpless, was she? Why, she tricked me into believing she had a fortune. Tricked me into killing to get it.
What are you talking about? She tricked you into believing she had a fortune. She does have a fortune.
You're lying. She said there wasn't a cent of the fortune left.
You must have misunderstood her. She's worth at least $8 million. And with the death of your cousins, you were the sole heir to it.
$8 million?
But, Chris, no matter what you do now, that fortune can never be yours. I saw you kill your grandmother, and under the law, no murderer can inherit anything from his victim.
Then she planned this too. She always said she didn't want me to have her money. And she fixed its way so it would all go to charity. But I'll show her. I'll show her. It's mine, do you hear? Mine, mine, mine!
So in the end, old Mrs. Drake defeated her 3 greedy grandchildren after all. But what a strange way to disinherit anybody. It looks as if murder ran in the family, doesn't it? But the sound of the great gong tells me it's time to close the sealed book again.
One moment, Keeper of the Book. What story will you tell us next time?
Next time? Would you prefer a murder or a tale of the supernatural? Remember, I have all the stories that ever happened here and all that have yet to come to pass. But I'll find one for you in just a moment.
And now, Keeper of the Book, have you found the tale you'll tell next time?
Yes, I've found one. It's the story about a girl who goes to live on an island, a very strange island, where the dead walk by night and weird voices sound in the wind. I call the story Devil Island.
Be sure to be with us again next time. The sound of the great gong heralds another strange and exciting story from
The Sealed Book.
The Sealed Book, written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, is produced and directed by Jock McGregor.